Well, it's February. We all know what that means. Valentine's is around the corner, and I, Gateri, am here to save the day. So I'm here to share with you a very simple yet flavorful recipe that you can try out over the Valentine's Day weekend. So it's a pan-seared tilapia in a creamy masala sauce. I know, exciting. So let's get started. For the ingredients, we're going to need fish fillet, onions, tomatoes, dhania, ghee, brookside cooking cream, garlic and ginger all minced up, juice of a lemon, and our masala mix. We have some cloves, turmeric, cumin, and coriander powder. For starters, pat dry your fish fillet, then season on both sides with salt and black pepper, and I've also grated some lemon zest just to add another dimension of flavor. Let it stand there for like 5 minutes or so as you're prepping the pan. I'm using just a stainless steel pan, saute pan. Then I'm going to I've allowed it to heat up for about a minute or so. Then I'll add some ghee to coat the surface of the pan. So about 2 to 3 tablespoons. So just swirl to ensure the surface of the pan is coated, and then we'll allow it to heat up a bit. The reason for this is that we want, when we put the fish, the oil is sufficiently hot in the sense that once the fish hits the pan, it starts to cook and it won't stick to the pan. So ideally that's what we're going for. Fingers crossed the fish doesn't stick. Add our fish. Yes, that's the sound you want to hear, a sizzle. My pan can only fit 2 at a go, so that's what I'll do. So once the edges start turning white, you know we are ready to flip our fish. So here comes the moment of truth. I'm using a fish slice. A little of my fish stuck onto the pan. Oh, boo-hoo. Anywho, so once the other side is cooked, we remove and set aside. I've lightly dusted this fillet with some flour just to see whether it will help with the sticking. So let's flip it, and as you can see, the flour actually helped it from sticking. So we want to cook the other side, then we set it aside. So what have we learned here today? Lightly dust with flour, especially if you're not going to use a non-stick pan for this section. And our fish is done. Beautiful. Set it aside. So in the same pan, I'll just add 1 more tablespoon of the ghee. Then I add onions. Once the onions are cooked down and softened a bit, we'll add our garlic and ginger. Here we cook until fragrant. What that means is that once you can smell the garlic, you know that your garlic is done. And then now we add our masala spices. The turmeric will lend a very beautiful color to our sauce. So you start to help the spices cook a bit. At this point, we also add some salt and freshly ground black pepper. If you use chilies, you can also add some cayenne or even some whole chilies. So some salt. Then finally our tomatoes. Once we add our tomatoes, we'll cover and let the steam soften the tomatoes and cook them down, and then we'll be almost done with our sauce. If you're averse to tomato peels, you can grate your tomatoes. Personally, I'm indifferent. When it comes to a curry, I don't mind having the peels there. What I do is just I cut the tomatoes into cubes like I have here. Yeah. So you just want the tomatoes to cook down completely. This is like your masala base. So this is where all the flavor is packed. So we let this cook for a bit and reduce slightly before we add in our fish. Our sauce is all bubbly, so I'm going to put juice of half a lemon, not much, just to tie everything together. Then add back our fish pieces. And sprinkle over some fresh dhania. And there you have it, pan-seared tilapia in a creamy masala sauce. You just have to try it. And the beauty of this is that if you don't have tilapia, you can adapt it for another type of fish. You can be using salmon, you can be using maybe some kingfish steaks, you can use prawns. Essentially, the options are endless. I do hope you try this recipe, and if you do, tag me at Leo Tinapika. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and from me, Gatweri, kwaheri. Wow, that fish is flaky.